There are literally thousands of productivity tools out there. They all promise to make your life so much easier. But a lot of that is just hype. Now, I spend a fair amount of time testing out tools to separate the wheat from the chaff so that you don't have to. And in today's episode, I'm going to tell you all about four of my favorite tools I use every single day that save me hours every single week. So let's get into it. Welcome to the Do More, Stress Less podcast. I'm your host, Alexis Hasselberger, a time management and productivity coach. In every episode, I give you actionable, practical tips to help you learn to use your time in a way that feels good to you every day. No more hustling, scrambling, or struggling to keep your head above water. So let's dive in, and soon enough, you'll be doing more and stressing less. Last week, I was having lunch with an old colleague, and we got on the subject of time-saving tools. Now, he's already adopted a couple of the tools I recommended to him in the past, and I was excitedly telling him about another because, yes, I'm a huge dork and I get very excited about time-saving tools. And yes, I'm including the tool in today's episode that I was yapping about, right? And then I realized I don't need to just tell him, I need to tell you too. Because look, there are so many tools out there, and all of them tout themselves as like the next big thing. And it can be so overwhelming, especially if you are just getting fed all of these ads for all of these things all of the time, right? Every new tool, it has a ramp up time, right? And it can feel like it might take a lot longer to learn these tools than is worth the effort. And that is often true. You try something out only to find out that by the time you've learned all about it, it's not exactly what it's cracked up to be. Personally, I do not believe that technology is going to solve all of our time problems. No, not even AI, even though that can certainly help. But there are definitely some tools that are low effort to learn and pack a huge punch. So, with no further ado, let me tell you about my all time favorite time saving tools, the ones I actually use day in and day out to save time and help me stay on top of it all. These are the four tools that I just can't live without. Like, literally, if I don't have access to them for some reason, I start to feel a little panicky. Okay, so the first one, you've probably heard me talk about this before. It is my task app. It is called TickTick, not TikTok. That is a very different app that I also love, but it is not for productivity, right? So TickTick is my favorite task app. And I have reviewed, I don't know, at least 50 task apps. As I'm often saying, right, task management is time management. And TickTick is the task management app that I recommend to my clients all of the time. And it's also the one that I use myself because, yes, I do use the things that I recommend. And in fact, I only recommend things that I actually do use. I love TickTick for so many reasons, but chief among them are that one, it is like dead simple to use. It is a very low barrier for entry. I have worked with coaching clients, in their 70s who have been able to use this technology. It is that simple. Um, the free version is also really great, right? There is a premium version, but a lot of people, a lot of my clients like never need the premium version. But it's not going to make a big deal anyways. It's like $35 a year, not a month, a year if you need the premium version. I think that the only reason that I have the premium version is because my to read list got too long. And I think that with the free version, you can have like 9 lists with 99 things on each list, which is a whole lot of stuff. But my to read list is probably like 500 items. So that's why I use the premium version, but the free one is great. I love TickTick because not only can it manage tasks and complex projects, but it also has a really robust habit tracker and a Pomodoro timer. And these are features that I really love. I use them all the time. I also love it because it integrates really easily with all your other tools, right? It integrates with Gmail, with Outlook, with email, with calendar, with Siri, with Google Home, with Alexa. It integrates with even your Apple Watch, it will integrate. And that just makes it a whole lot easier to integrate into your workflows. I also love it because you can add tasks and comments by voice when you're on the go. When you have that brilliant idea while you're driving or while you're running, you can add that by voice, and that makes it really simple. And it syncs seamlessly from mobile to web, and both of the UIs are really great. And I find that that is not true of a lot of task apps. A lot of task apps, they were either like built for web and then they have, added on a mobile app, but it's not quite as good, or the opposite. TickTick is very easy to use both ways, right? And the desktop app. So whether you're using the desktop app or the mobile app or just the web version, it's syncing everywhere and they're all very, very easy to use. I'll give you a little quick anecdote about TickTick too. When I was working with one of my coaching clients, actually, when I'm working with any coaching client, and they already have a task app that they like to use, I never try to get them to switch, right? Because the task manager that you use, right? You should use the one you like. Whatever you like, you should use that because it's going to be stickier. And the method of task management that I teach, that I work with my clients on, it's platform agnostic. It doesn't matter which app you're using. So while I like TickTick the best, when I'm teaching, it works no matter what you're using. And you want to use what you like. But having said that, a number of times I have had a coaching client come back and tell me that, they checked out TickTick because they had heard me talking about it and they decided to switch to it because when they checked it out, it was so much better than whatever they had been using before, even though they thought that they had loved whatever they were using before, right? So again, I don't try to get people to switch if they already have something they love, because if you have something and you love it, you should use it, right? But a lot of people have switched simply because they realized that TickTick was so much better. Next tool. Okay. Next one is Calendly, which is a meeting scheduler. It saves me so many hours every week and so many headaches. I love this tool because it avoids all of that time wasting back and forth of trying to figure out a meeting date at a time, especially with external parties, right? With clients, etc. It allows us for me to just send a link. So Calendly, it is inexpensive. It allows for multiple different meeting types. So for instance, like a podcast interview versus a workshop versus a coaching session, etc. I can just have different links for all of these things. You could include buffer around different types of meetings. So for instance, if I'm teaching an in-person workshop at a company, I can send them a link for that, and it has built-in travel time there so that I know I have enough buffer around that. So you have all of these different ways that you can use that. It syncs directly with my calendar. And because I can select like windows when I want to be available, then I never worry about double booking or people choosing times that aren't ideal for me because they are already there. There's a free version of Calendly if you only need one meeting type. And if you want to use this type of a scheduler, this type of functionality, but you don't want to use yet another platform, both Outlook and Google Workspace have built-in options for this now. So Microsoft, it's called Microsoft Bookings, and with Google, it's called Google Appointment Schedules. You can Google each of those and you can look up how to set it up. I use Calendly because I started using it long before Google had its own appointment schedules, and I'm just still using it because, I just am. But if I were to start again today, maybe I would use one of the free ones because it would already be in the system that I was using. So that is Calendly. Never have another email where you're saying, okay, well, I can meet on these times and these days. And the other person is saying, oh, that doesn't work for me. And now you're 15 emails deep and you still don't have a date that you're all going to meet at. All right, next tool. This one is called Text Expander, and this is for writing faster communications. My love for Text Expander knows no bounds, seriously. Text Expander is a tool that allows you to create snippets of text or like whole entire templates using links and imaging and formatting and, all of this stuff. And it allows you to easily expand these templates with a quick keyboard shortcut in any app that you're using, whether that is an email or a Word document or a Google Sheet or a web form, etc. It allows you to just pop in these snippets of text or, whole email templates, whole document templates, etc. I would say that at least 70% of the emails I write, actually probably even more than that because I almost always use it for like my greetings and things, start with a template from Text Expander or they contain a little snippet from Text Expander. This makes it so fast. So gone are the days when I used to spend time looking up what my LinkedIn profile link is because I can't remember, or what my EIN is for my business, or what I said to a client last year or last week about how to say no to XYZ. It's all in Text Expander. It's just a couple of keystrokes away for me. And I save, yes, hours every week by using this. Text Expander has a free 14-day trial, and I think after that it is a couple of dollars a month. That's why I resisted it for so long. I'm pretty frugal. I really like free tools. But when I did the free trial of this one, I swear on like day two, I was like, let me just give you all my money. This is one of the best tools I have ever used. It saves me so much time, and at whatever, $40 a year, that is well worth it to me. Okay. Last tool I'm going to share about here today is actually the newest on the list here that I have started using. So this is called granola.ai, and it is an AI note taker, but it's one that actually works really, really well. Now, until recently, I thought AI note takers were all pretty much trash wrapped up in a bow. I had tried so many of them, and I had found them all severely lacking. Like, they did give me some notes, but they weren't great, and so I still had to take notes in another way. Ensuring that my notes are clear, they're succinct, they're actionable, and they're easily searchable. This has been like the bane of my work existence for many, many years. Many of my clients, especially those who think of themselves as like paper people, they have struggled with this as well. And in fact, I am like almost embarrassed to admit this, but here I am doing it, that I used to spend up to 30 minutes a day or so just ensuring that my notes were transcribed in the right places and action items made their way into my task system, etc. But late last year, someone, actually one of my clients who is a CTO, so a very tech savvy guy, he told me about granola. And honestly, this changed my life. Notes are no longer an issue for me at all. Recently, I have been telling literally everybody I know about granola, my colleagues, my clients, my friends, and now you. In fact, literally half an hour ago, I was checking my email and I saw an email from the executive director of a nonprofit I'm on the board of. And she just said, "Hey, just wanted to let you know I started using granola because you were talking it up and I'm loving it," right? It is something I'm literally talking about all the time. Even in my last book club meeting, we had a little short love fest about granola because I found out that a few other people were also using it and finding it so, so helpful. So if you have been a little bit AI shy or convinced it's just hype, or you've also tried a ton of other note taker AI note takers and found them to be like, okay, but you're still taking your own notes for backup, you might just want to give this one a shot. In my experience, Granola captures thorough notes and it has a few key differentiators from other AI note takers. So, one of them is that you can jot down your own notes in its integrated notepad while the AI notes are being generated. And this ensures that the AI knows what you care about from the meeting, right? That it's not just making these decisions on its own. I also love that I can turn it on for calls or even in-person meetings. You don't even have to be on a Zoom. Like it's not integrated with Zoom. It's a separate thing. So I have used this for like a doctor's appointment when I needed to really get a lot of information, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to remember it or write fast enough to get it all down. So it's great for this. You can also customize various different templates for your notes so that they're in the exact format you want for different types of meetings. And you can apply different templates to the same notes, to the same meeting to get different formats if you like it. So for instance, I have a template set up for, client calls, right? For client sessions. I have a template set up for consultation calls for people who, might be potential clients for me. I have different templates set up, and that means that I'm getting the notes in exactly the way that I want them every single time. But maybe my favorite feature of all is that you can chat with the notes. It's amazing, right? You can hear me getting excited about this. You can ask the notes a question and it will answer. You can ask it to draft the follow-up email for your meeting for you, right? Every meeting should have an email recap, but nobody wants to do it because it's extra work. You can have the AI do it for you. Granola will do this for you. You can send a link to the notes to other people so that they can chat with them. It's honestly pretty amazing. And so this is something that I've started doing in all of my coaching calls is I now send my clients the link to the notes so that they can chat directly with the notes. If they're like, wait, what did Alexis say about X, Y, or Z? Or, help me remember whatever, then they can just chat with the notes. It is awesome. Um, I found that since started using this tool, I have reduced my paper note taking to literally about zero. Uh, and I've reduced the time I spend dealing with my notes by about 90%. I am never looking back. So these were my four favorite tools, the tools that I'm using every single day that are saving me tons of time, that are easy to implement and actually worth the effort. I would love to know if you have a tool that you are loving. Would you share it with me? I want to hear about it. I am always interested in finding like the real deal tools that people are loving. So let me know if you have a tool recommendation for me. And that's a wrap on today's episode of the Do More, Stress Less podcast. If today's episode resonated with you, make sure to subscribe now so that you can save yourself time in the future and never miss an episode. It'll take 5 seconds to hit subscribe, and the payoff will be big. You'll never have to think about it again. In Pro Tip, you'll be using the decide once strategy and saving yourself from the fate of decision fatigue. Do yourself this quick kindness, and I'll see you next time.